MSI 2015 is almost done here, and I'm joined by Riot Kobe for his first, my understanding, his first ever interview since joining Riot, not by Riot, because those stones don't count. Is that the case?
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? What is that? Are you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
We'll go with yes.
Okay. You are very certain on this, I guess. Seems like you're sure. What is the? Let's actually talk a little bit about your Xin Zhao play, Kobe, because we got to see you showcase that against some pro players, and
we had them right where we wanted them. Yeah. We're gonna get a rematch. It'll go differently the second time, I'm sure. Yeah.
Would you make any? Would you, if the rematch comes along, would you change anything about picks and bans? Because I felt like Xin Zhao maybe not the best option against the comp that they built.
We had to pick from Demacia. It was Shinsao or Garen. So I feel like Garen doesn't offer a whole lot more than Shinsao does. They're very similar. Yeah. But I can make cool flash ultimate plays with Shin.
I'm pretty sure Galio and Poppy are both also...
I could go with a Poppy jungle. That's actually a good point. Yeah. That's a bit harder of a carry. I might have been able to do something. Or
you could have just pit two. Who needs a jungle? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they also took 2 smites, so we had no idea what they were doing with this Morgana smite. Turtle is obviously trying to come mess with me early. Yeah.
He was moving very quickly that game.
He was. What an interesting build.
What was it like being on stage? You've now, I think you've played a couple times in random events like this, an ARAM and that kind of thing. What's it like only getting to play League whenever you're like the butt of the joke?
Great. Super fun. Yeah. No, it was actually really fun because Cloud Templar's English is passable, so I got to speak to him. Yeah. Messiah also speaks a bit of English, so it was really fun talking with those guys.
Yeah, they are kind of legends, and according to Reddit, you are also a legend. I saw a Reddit thread yesterday about how you might be the most successful pro player of all time. Not only did you win big events that you went to, but you also were, on a CLG that was actually winning, which is kind of remarkable.
So may have been a wee bit facetious, but I don't know. Yeah. That's fair.
But let's talk about MSI, the serious matches now. What have been your surprises of the tournament? I guess the obvious one being TSM.
Well, TSM was very surprising. Fnatic was also surprising. So 2 different directions of surprise, actually. But the collapse of TSM at this tournament has to take the cake.
According to some stuff that I've read, that indicates that you are a biased caster. That there's caster bias to say that TSM should have performed better and Fnatic, performed better than they expected.
So TSM, they admitted that they really, really underperformed, and they've got a lot of stuff to deal with before they return to the LCS for the next split. So I'm actually very curious about the form of TSM when they do return, because our story is going to be, obviously there was a big hiccup here at MSI. Yeah.
What are your expectations for the next split of NA LCS? Because we have a little bit of a break here, and then you head off to LCS again for the next split. Any predictions?
1 week of vacation, baby.
It's a tough job sometimes in esports. That's what I think.
So my first question is going to be Cloud9 with Incarnation, because I'm very excited about this. When Charlie asked Incarnation to rate himself, I think he said something like he goes 50-50 with Fabiven. Okay. And Fabiven showing up extremely well here at MSI, that bodes very well for Cloud9 and their new pickup.
Do you think it just comes down to whether or not Incarnation's good, though? Because there's also so much discussion about whether or not he'll be able to mesh well with that team. Like I remember Link at All-Stars last year saying, like, oh, High is like the nexus of communication for that whole team.
So I have heard things that their communication style has been changing already, for the past few months. So that might not be that big of an issue. And I do know that the Cloud9 guys are very easy to get along with. Yeah. So I feel like it would be really easy for most people to kind of meld with that group. Yeah. They're very accepting, I guess.
So you got Cloud9. Do you think TSM is going to be like where are they at? Like, do you think people will start to underrate them?
There will be a lot of questions for TSM. I think that Reggie's going to be really hard on the team, though, after they get back Reggie is not exactly a lenient owner, so they're probably going to have to go through some crazy training. They've only got 1 week, but they'll probably crack the whip a little bit, and I expect them to perform better once they get back to NALCS.
Looking broader at the event, what's it been like for you to be at this international event that's on American or North American soil?
It's actually really fun. I've never been this far east, traveling in the United States. I've only gotten to Arizona before.
That's not very far east.
Far east. I don't. I've traveled way more internationally than I have domestically. So it was it's an interesting experience. Coming to the South. Never been. It was it's very hot and humid down here in Florida.
You also had the unique opportunity to cast with some new casters. There's some new personalities that you guys have brought in. What has that been like?
I love Atlas. He is very excited. He's a very excitable person, and that's been really fun. I cast both of my group stage days with him. And then all the other guys I've cast with before. Monty and Doa I've been friends with for a long time. It's always really fun to see Deficio. Deficio and Quickshot are like our crazy cousins with weird accents that come to visit every half a season.
So good times with those folks. And just more broadly speaking, because we've been going broader and broader.
All right, I like that. So globally here, global warming is definitely a problem.
Okay. We're getting PRs interjecting. There's no global.
It's no joke, guys.
All right, let's. No, I mean the final thing I just want to say is like you and I had a conversation recently about just sort of talking about what it was like for you a couple years ago at an IPL, because we were making jokes about IPL, and you were sort of saying like I remember being there, just sort of seeing all this stuff and saying I have to go back to my job. So I mean, now that you're a couple years in, what's it been like becoming this caster?
It's been great. Like we were discussing, it was a huge risk for me to quit my engineering position and take the risk to drive down to LA on this like very short contract that they offered. But it worked out so well. The LCS is blooming, tremendous success for League of Legends, and it's pretty much a dream job right now. The only drawback is that all of North American LCS are always on every weekend, so you don't get very many weekends.
True. But,
time well spent, though.
But what else would you rather be doing than casting amazing North American LCS, right?
Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything that you would like to say here at the Riot Kobe? I always give the players a chance to say whatever to fans or whatever. Here's your chance.
No. Has everyone ever done that before?
Yes, a couple times. A couple pro players. Yeah, you're good at this. This is your first interview. You don't even know what to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I appreciate all my fans. I don't have any sponsors, so I don't have to shout those out. But thank you to Travis for growing out this giant beard and covering more of his face.
Well, that's it. Here at the MSI, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things at GameSpot.com/LOL.